Hi everybody, my name's Lou. I'm going to be talking about Google Fiber, which when it was originally announced was supposed to be kind of revolutionary and disrupt the telecom industry, at least internet and TV. But since it hasn't really lived up to its kind of lofty expectations at the onset of the project in 2010. So let's dive right into it. So what is Google Fiber? It is an internet and television service provider under Google, and it is under the Access division at Google. As I said before, it was launched in 2010 on February 10th, and it is currently available in 9 areas in the continental United States. And here I just have a little YouTube video. It's kind of a launch video from when Google Fiber was announced, and it'll give you a good idea of what they're trying to accomplish.
Let's learn about rockets. With friends. Let's save our special moments so that we can remember them. Let's create new things together. Or launch a new idea. From home. Let's take a break. Let's keep up with the top chefs, the models, secret agents, and all the basketball players. Let's run out of sick days before we run out of shows. Let's take control. Let's count every freckle. And let's count every star in the sky. And dream about the possibilities.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good idea. They were just trying to have blindingly fast internet, really, and some good HD television with decent capabilities to record all your favorite shows and have them on demand. So here's a map of all the locations, with the blue points being where they're currently located, purple upcoming, gray potential, and green is WebPass, which is where they're really focusing on trying to develop wireless internet. So these locations, as mentioned before, the 9 locations where they currently have full capability are in Atlanta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, Nashville, Tennessee, Provo, Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, and they call it the Triangle in North Carolina, right in here. It's where it's Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, all where the major universities are located. They have a solid infrastructure that made rolling this out and testing it ideal. So about the available plans, there's a 5 megabit per second internet that they make available for $0 a month, plus a one-time construction installation fee. This fee varies, as you can see at the bottom. Kansas City, it costs $300, while Provo, Utah residents were only charged $30. This is largely due to price differences in the way the city's laid out, the way the existing infrastructure is, how simple it would be to put new infrastructure coupled with the existing Lots of different factors go into that. So back to this 5 megabit plan. This is comparable to similar DSL plans, which cost up to $40 a month. So that's pretty good. They offer 1,000 megabit per second, 1 gigabit per second internet for $70 a month, and with that and the accompanying one, which includes TV, for $120, they waive the installation fee just because they cost more per month. Some features, which I think you probably gathered from the video. The 1 gigabit per second plan comes with 1 terabyte of Google Drive storage and 2 terabytes of DVR, which can record up to 8 live shows at once. So that's a pretty amazing capability, at least that they were going for. They offer a free Nexus 7 remote. The service comes with built-in Google Cast, which allows you to use your Android device as kind of like a streaming device, like a Roku. You can send it directly to the TV, and all your Google services will work: your internet, your TV. Their TV plan has 220 plus HD channels and thousands of movies and shows on demand. They're trying to make this as competitive as possible with comparable cable plans: Comcast, Time Warner, Spectrum, Optimum, things of that nature. They also offer a call service, unlimited local and nationwide calling. They offer international, but for a small fee. It's like any other phone. For their wireless, they use the Network Plus box router, gigabyte router. This, according to their website, it was comparable with any other router provided to you or that you can buy that's the most up to date. So has Google Fiber worked as it was promised? Well, as of last year, plans to expand Google Fiber have been put on hold. Google has had to roll back a lot of its features due to tough economic climates that are really facing all the cable providers and internet providers. Specifically in San Antonio and Louisville, they won't have cable as part of their Google Fiber when it's rolled out in these cities. This tough economic climate is kind of due to cable subscription rates plateauing. As said before, it's affected them all, but this was something they didn't really forecast. This cable subscription rates had steadily been increasing up to 2010 when this was launched. Other things like licensing fees for sporting events and other premium channels were just astronomically high, and for the price they're charging for this service, they can't really justify purchasing as many or getting into contract disputes like many of the bigger cable companies. They just don't have the buying power to make this economically feasible, really. They are Google, so they have the money, but to make this particular division profitable, it goes into murky water. Also, with the rise of internet-based content like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, even Google's own products like YouTube Red that are subscription-based, people aren't really paying for cable as much as they used to be, and this really contributed to the plateauing of cable subscriptions. Now, there's a number of reasons I found for their underperformance. Google tried a new marketing strategy with this. So they would send out vouchers and mailers promoting the bundle deals, and they were trying to market it much cheaper. and they may have overstated the capabilities. Uh, Also, in some cities, they were undercut by competitors. Specifically in Austin, Texas, AT&T marketed a 300 megabit per second connection, and with the promise of a 1 gigabit per second upgrade once the technology was available. So this this became available way before Google Fiber was available, and it really made it just undercut their competition there. Um, Second would be the pricing. The $70 and the new $50 price per month that they tried out didn't really earn Google Fiber nearly enough money to offset the cost of doing business. Laying this fiber optics line is extremely expensive, time consuming. You have to make deals with the different municipalities, cities, making sure the existing infrastructure is updated. If you need to put new infrastructure in, it all costs a ton of money. Um, and it was just far more costly than Google ever really anticipated. Um, as mentioned before, the infrastructure, the partnerships. Google ran into some problems in cities when they were trying to use existing infrastructure. They even encountered lawsuits in a couple cities where they were trying to use the existing infrastructure to implement their product. Also, the competition is extremely high, especially in a market that's diminishing. In many markets where Google Fiber was rolled out, many other ISPs simply bumped up the speed of their DSL service, of their FiOS service, what have you, to be comparable to fiber, or enough for customers that they would just pay that because it was a little cheaper, stuff like that. And lastly, the inconsistency of service. A couple years ago, Google really ran into a major problem when during the 2015 World Series, they lost picture of one of the games for about 2 hours. Now I know for baseball that's like a quarter of the game, but that's still pretty substantial, and it rubbed a lot of the subscribers the wrong way. So it's tough to recover from a PR kind of nightmare like that. And they've also suffered poor service and outages at other inopportune times throughout the life of Google Fiber. So the current state of Google Fiber as it stands in 2017, they've cut their staff, their dedicated staff, by 9%. Their fiber plans either ended or paused in 11 cities. Cities like Chicago, Dallas, Jacksonville, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, San Jose, Tampa, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, Portland. So these are major cities that could have, major populations that could have been using this service, and they're missing out greatly. Google as a company is now shifting its focus toward wireless service, specifically WebPass, as mentioned before, which offers high-speed, easier, more feasible option than laying miles and miles of fiber optic line. While the fiber optics is astronomically fast, it may not be needed at this point with current technology the way it is. And here's my reference slide. Here I used these 4 references coupled with Google's Google Fiber's About page. And that's it. I appreciate you listening.